No ejector seats on this, just a slide back canopy, and again another tail slide back into his own spot. That is good flying. Woof, we're flicking it at the top. Control stick comes up between his legs, so he's pushing forward on that as he got to the top of that tail.
And you'll notice that they can control their rate of descent, faster or slower. And really in landing, they use the canopy just like an aircraft would by. And even got a lunch bag attached to the top of the canopy.
No, look at him. Dive, dive, dive.
Okay, we're not waiting.
I would suggest, look at that, it's the shark's mouth, the Chino's flying tigers operating. Competition, you're given an invisible and imaginary box in the sky, and you have to fly within that box as accurately as possible. The aeroplane has a phenomenal.
Сейчас делает Светлана самую опасную фигуру, самолет завис. Пошел вниз. Молодец. Ладно, молодец.
So casual. Look at that. Unbelievable manoeuvres I actually don't know how to describe. Stall turn at the top, but the aeroplane still rotating sideways. 3 flicks on the way down. Stabilised. Straight and level for a moment, then pull up. That's about a 5G turn. Then pull up at the bottom of that. While this is going on, my wife just phoned to say the taxi hasn't arrived yet. I don't know what I can do. Straight down. The A-axis is left and right in front of you. The B-axis are now off. So that's pull up and then push. Stick and rudder into opposite corners pushed away from you, and that's a very uncomfortable outside flick roll manoeuvre. Yeah, I did that one. It was the yes, because you've got the Nanchangs and the Yak 52s.
If Svet go away, give her a little wave if you see her. Oh, and kisses. I think that was for me. There you go. It was here in '91, and it's up for sale at the moment. And as Graham was saying earlier on, ideal syndicate aircraft. You get 2 or 3 of your mates together, flying on their own. And there's a little bit of rivalry between the 52s and the Nanchang operators, and you can see why. Because these guys are tight in the air. Look at that. That is some good flying.
And are we getting a formation landing, Joe?
It looks like we are. Flaps down, undercarriage down. Now that is impressive. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Jim, these are all local boys to you, aren't they? You know all these guys?
Well, first of all, as I said, there was 8. We haven't seen 8 together in this sort of configuration. But 4 of these planes are based in New Plymouth. And they're led there by Brett Emily, who also flies the Vampire.
The leader is got to be followed, and it takes a lot of time to build up that sort of trust. So let's watch this opposition pair. We've got a pair coming from the right, a pair coming from the left. Smoke on. Very nice. Basically, it's like he's stirring a cake in the middle. He's got the control column comes up between your legs, and you're working the rudders and working the control column. Exercise in movement management, that one. Now, look at that. Line abreast.
That's BJ Coppersmith in front. He's had a big hand in instructing the whole team. Brett Emily.
It's to the right stall. So here they come, 4s and 3s.
And the guys behind him, the wonderful record with the RZAF, who was tragically killed in an air accident in the UK 2 or 3 years back. But an immaculate yak.
And look at this. This coming in from the right, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Red Star race team.
Report on there, all the performance, all of the Brothers movie called 10,000 BC, just up the hill, and Ozzy hasn't turned up. He's the great nephew of Manfred von Richthofen.
And the triplane is a very difficult aircraft to fly. It will bite you very easily. But von Richthofen preferred to fly the triplane because it climbed so rapidly and it was very manoeuvrable.
Come on!
Yes.
One shot from a 303 and it jams. I don't believe... Oh! Didn't jam, no. We're not supposed to see that. I know. Pull the bolt back, the magazine falls out. That's good. Oh, he was following.
No, you're making that up.
I am
Dreary.
not. It is not an apocryphal story.
And you'll see that each of these aircraft carries its own colour scheme. The Fokker triplane is
Airburst.
black, is representative of Rittmeister von Green, and he flew an aircraft with this colour scheme on. The colour schemes were quite important.
Very.
In the same colour scheme as, no, I can't look up here, the French ace Charles Nungesser. Yeah.
That was my friend Graham Clouseau up here on the bus.
For obvious reasons, and navigated by Flight Lieutenant Susan Youngman. We have many females in the F-111 community. She's one of 4 female navigators, and as any man who's been on a long drive before will tell you, there's nothing quite like the dulcet tone of a lady telling you where to go.
You're in the right place. You fit right in, Justin.
The F-111 actually handles remarkably well for an old girl. Like most big ladies, she requires special attention, but here you can see her coming over the fence at a typical landing speed of about 130 knots. Powered by 2 Pratt & Whitney TF30 turbofans, probably a little louder than what you've heard in some of the engines today. Over 21,000 pounds of thrust in afterburner, and a single engine has been rolled. The 500 knots for a knife edge pass, wings mid sweep. Start to see that flame build up behind the rear of the exhaust. Here she goes. Hope everyone's wearing their sunscreen.
What's Jurgis's G-meter going to look like when he lands off this?
Probably +10, -8, something like that.
Which is more than the human body can normally stand.
Yeah, with these aircraft it's fairly momentary. It's like not like a jet fighter.
Except that you're going from one to the other quite quickly.
Right.
Spatial awareness and
It's trying to be thrown out of the cockpit.
It's that.
This is the Cobra.
Yeah.
going to the small loop.
And that pitch to the vertical from straight and level flight, that's a hygiene manoeuvre, it has to be.
It was actually stalled there, so...
Okay, so it's moving quite slowly at the point where it doesn't.
I'm afraid I can't comment on how many G in that one because I've never done it.
Yet. This whole thing about being part of the aircraft, I mean, in the sort of reclining.
But Neptune was famous for flying it from Farnborough to New York, then breaking the transatlantic record back then. It entered service with the Royal Air Force in July of '54. So it's an old machine.
Half a century old. Look at that performance.
4-point hesitation roll. Out on 45. You see that little flap just open up underneath the outlet there at the back? That's the air brake. The bar. And that's very nice. Right edge. A little bit of rudder to keep the nose. The home defense are kicking in.
Thank you!
Brake guns 303.
Sorry, tripod fell over. We'll call it. Smoke on, go. No, stop.
Now here comes the hurry.
He's very persistent.
He is, isn't he? Now, I know the Americans are optimistic, but you see that guy, he was shooting out with a handgun.
Was he?
A 45.
There was always a bone of contention between... oh no, Jimbo, this will please make you happy. And have a listen to it as well. Stu Goldspeed leads the pair. Nigel flying as his number 2. Lots and lots of display experience between these two men.
Out of those profile formation flying.
Lovely slow roll. The Hurricane, the real backbone of the RAF during the Battle of Britain, its job was to intercept the bomber streams with the Spitfire providing cover.
And it goes like this. Born of the sun, he travelled a short while toward the sun and left the vivid air signed with his honour. The rest of this Singleton Spitfire display, we on the bus here would like to dedicate to the memory of Ray.
Begin backing up.
Where's James? 2 of his aeroplanes flying here today. Is this your Corsair by any chance, young man?
And here's the cat coming through, the Catalina.
He's gone all shy now.
Played a hugely important role in the operations. Picking up down the submarine and reconnaissance. Now you see the floats are down on the wingtips now.
This is a water landing.
Yeah, exactly. This is where your stability came from. Slowly starting to go back up.
I want this thing to be particularly air. In close formation, John Lamont, John Lanning. It works in the air.
40 to the front, pulling up. Use 4G.
Right, 4G on that.
Go on.
Nikolai.
Now fly, speak and do PR at the same time.
It's nice and high so that if it drops upside down, the motor keeps running. Push it heads up, and the motor keeps going.
Benjamin. So Lisa and Dougal, if you are short of a Benjamin, who seems pretty calm to me, fairly young. On, he knows his potatoes. That's something to do with fries potatoes.
That's right, get it.
Chips.
Yeah, it works on many levels.
I'll see how it works. Right.
So if you saw the roll rate there at Sukhoi, over 380 degrees a second. So in less than a second you go all the way around and another 20 degrees. Amazing aircraft.
Jurgis, flight number 2, just being a little bit casual here, he's just wandering along the tail chase with a two-seater.
I've seen this as a Vero loop. I love this. Look, he's taken up station, so he's like practically right underneath it as they're doing continuous loop.
I see, you've been watching the rehearsals.
Very good. That's why he's hanging up there, you see. He's waiting until he's at the bottom. Then he sticks the nose down.
Gotcha. Here for you today. Straight ahead and listen to this. Leader, Peterson, followed up by Stu Goldstick. We saw Stu flying the Hurricane a little bit later, and I said, how's it feel to get back into the Tiger? And he said, I've flown one for 2 years. And sound. Peterson and Stu Goldstick fly the pair. saying to me, how good am I? He's saying, here's the aeroplane, here's what it'll do, here's where it looks best, here's where it sounds nicest, here's where you can get a really good shot, and against this backdrop, can't go wrong.
Absolutely.
What you're looking at is more of that Russo-Western cooperation. All the major work on this aeroplane to get it into flyable state was done in Russia. It was then sent to Duxford in the UK. They completed the detail work there and issued a UK CAA.
We had a big argument about this when it came to Duxford because we were doing a commentary for it. We were saying it's a Yak 3 and this Frenchman kept storming into the commentary.
It's not a Yak 3.
Like I said, if you've got an airplane that's slightly faster than one airplane, it's traditional that you put the slower one behind. And the faster
Is the coordinator of all the flying activity here this weekend. Is a highly capable pilot in his own right. Jim, I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope some of you with good, long, stable lenses are getting some good shots too.
Grant Bissett in the lead there, the L39. Top speed.
Apologise, Arthur. Arthur Novi taxiing down in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, if you see.
In some ways.
Yep. Well, we've had one little Fokker flying today, haven't we?
It's the jet formation. Full-time armourer. So here they come, in formation.
Front lift.
Empires.
Empires. It's tight.
The origins of the Vampire date back to 1941. So,
Well, I think I've got this right, Joe, but correct me if I'm wrong, because that very seldom happens. But there's very much
to what it is for the purpose. It's not a huge amount of thrust coming from that Goblin engine, so it's not stressed in that way. And you need a little bit of flexibility.
Vampire, so the process continues.
You were taking me for a ride when you offered me that special finance scheme, Jim.
Well, you know,
They took me for a ride this morning through security.
I bought 100 acres of bush
let's
in
not go
Norfolk from
there.
Jim 2 years ago.
Gun's still firing though, Jerry.
It is, that gun is still firing. Come on, more horses, what are you doing? Got a 25 pack. Well, that was a good. Where did that explosion come from? Yes! We've got ACAC, we've got a smoke ring or three up in the sky there. Look at that. That's lovely. That's right.
Look at that.
Airburst.
That's the Germans fighting back. You've got to admire their efficiency, these
Yes.
Germans. For
Go
a few
on.
men, they're doing a lot of damage.
Whoa. Got one. We got one, Joe. He's still bombing stuff at us, but the Corsair. Captain Skilling has dealt.
That is
God. 7 barrels of smoke out of the people on the far side. We need to get these aircraft out of the sky. Look, unopposed. 1, 2, putzing about like they're at an air show. Yeah, nice formation. But you know, well, I don't know. We've got the Corsair flying high coming in. At least he's taking it a bit it seriously. He's got one of those guys in his sights, and he's going to call bang bang, gotcha! Thank you. The P40 up there, going for the second guy. Come on, put it round, boys. Because motorcycle, a stealth force, is coming down in front of us. They've got the old Kubelwagen going there as well. Corsair's the only person knocking down enemy aircraft.